Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Reality Reads. It is time for another Traitors discussion. I was actually just realizing that we only have this video and one more video that will be only Traitors. I'm pretty positive that I'm not going to be tuning into season 50 of Survivor, but if you're someone that would like me to tune into it and share my thoughts and feelings, you can let me know down in the comments. I'm really not a huge Survivor person, and I had watched the last two seasons just so I could kind of get back into Survivor ahead of season 50. Obviously, at the time, was hoping for more old school representation because that's when I was really heavily into Survivor. That didn't happen, and then just some of the information that we have about some of the upcoming season, I was kind of like, I don't really know that I care about this all that much to tune in. I think I might just skip it, but if you guys want me to watch it, chat with about it, then I will do that. But as of right now, I do plan on tuning into House of Villains season 3. Very excited to watch both Tyson and Paul. I think it's in general a really strong cast for that show. I'm also familiar with Christine Quinn from Selling Sunset, so I'm very excited to tune into that. It starts the same week as Survivor. So I don't know, just let me know, what reality shows are you guys looking forward to? And then depending on when those end and like where we're at in relation to Big Brother season in the summertime, I may do like a Big Brother rewatch here on YouTube and kind of go revisit an old season and break it down and things like that. So I don't know, but let's dive into the Traitors. Okay, so last week I said I felt that the episode that we got last week was really overhyped, and because of that, it didn't seem like it lived up to the hype and all that kind of stuff. I feel like this episode was actually the best episode we've had so far in this season. I really like when the Traitors are kind of going at it and seeing who's going to come out on top. I said in the video last week that I felt really strongly that Rob was going to be the one to come out on top, and that was true. I also said that I just felt like that throwaway vote or throwaway vote, as Maura would say, was really going to cast a lot of suspicion on Candace. And I see a lot of people talking about, like, well, Dorinda threw away a vote as well. Yes, but the difference is that Candace had said publicly almost every single time that she's made a vote so far this season that she just wants to vote consistently and be consistent with her vote. And all the faithfuls have to go off of is either kind of like production insight or patterns, pattern recognition, and when those patterns change. And Candace changed her pattern up after, so much time of saying she wanted to be consistent and then all of a sudden having this throwaway vote. It was going to cast suspicion. So very unfortunate. I was really sad to see Candace go. I did enjoy her. I think she, up until recently, played a really strong game. I also am seeing a lot of people talk about the Colton murder situation and saying that that was a bad move on Candace. I'm going to be 100% honest. We can sit here and play the what if game till the end of time. Me personally, I don't think that it really would have mattered if she murdered Colton or someone else because Colton was also already saying her name. So it was either go for that and you have one less person that you know is saying your name, or take the chance of Colton, who most of the people at the round table have been listening to most of the season, saying your name. Again, either way, I think the outcome was going to be the same. I think it was time for Candace to go. I think that maybe it just kind of clued her into how much Rob wasn't on her side when she put those puzzle pieces together, that he had kept information from her. But at the end of the day, I genuinely do not think that that murder held very much weight at all in the outcome at the round table the following day. Another conversation that I'm seeing quite a bit online right now is speculation about Colton and Rob essentially cheating. I am not a Colton defender, so we're going to say I'm defending Rob, even though I don't really care about him all that much. But I guess it's more so like integrity of the game defending. Production's not going to allow that to happen. And a lot of people will sit here and say in response to that, that like, oh, well, they're not going to lose two big characters. Honestly, they don't care about you. And if you don't think that a scandal like that was going to get like a lot of attention and a lot of conversation and different things like that, and they wouldn't use that, you're wrong. Things like that are memorable. It has never happened before. No one's ever been ejected from this game. It would have been their first ejection. And, and two characters that have been playing like a really major role for the season. If that was happening, they wouldn't have hesitated to get them out of there. So, no, I don't for a second think that Rob had like made this deal with Colton and was giving him information that he wasn't allowed to give him. Now, on the flip side of that, do I think that Rob was probably planting seeds about Lisa and Candace to Colton? Yes, he's allowed to do that though, as long as he's speaking from like a faithful standpoint and not saying like I 100% know that, these people are traitors or whatever the case may be. So I think that that's definitely something that was happening. I don't think that I think that Rob has shown that he has enough game brain to know that after that first time that he wrote Lisa's name down and Candace was a little bit perturbed about it, I think that he knew that if he was going to make a move on Lisa, the smart decision would be to clue Candace in ahead of time. And whether she got on board or not, at least he took the initiative to kind of smooth that over before it happens, rather than saying everything was good and going back on his word. I think he has enough game savvy to know what is the right and wrong move there. And the fact that he didn't have a conversation with her ahead of time, I think is enough for me to know that he never planned on continuing to work with Candace. I think that he maybe the timeline of when he was going to target Candace and turn on her was upped a little bit because of their interactions and Candace starting to say his name and things of that nature. I don't think that he intended to like ride this thing out. I think that also at the end of the episode, we see him contemplating who he wants to like give the ultimatum to. And I can't remember which person it was. Was it maybe Johnny that he considered giving the ultimatum to, kind of as like a sacrificial lamb? Like, this person already has suspicion. Is this someone that I should just kind of recruit and then get them banished and then I'll pick someone else that I actually want to work with? I think that that's kind of speaks to the fact that Rob wants this pot all for himself. He doesn't want to split it with someone else. He wants all of the money. Like I said, I think that just the timeline of him and Candace going after each other was just kind of ramped up because of her going after him, which I don't blame her. There's so many people acting. Well, he even says in the episode that it was like petty and bad sportsmanship for him to be targeting her and then her to turn around and target him. I'm and like I've even seen some gamer people saying this, and I'm just like, well, even Boston Rob, when he did the interview with Candace, was like saying that he kind of agreed with Rob. And I'm like, what was Candace supposed to do? Just sit there and be mute? I mean, were there other avenues she could have taken? Like, is there someone else she could have thrown? Like, maybe she could have, since there was already some conversations and suspicion on Steven, could she have, like, followed that line of thinking a little bit more? Sure. But if you're in this castle, you know how much pull Rob has on people. And I think that there probably is just a little bit of you that's like, I'm going to knock him down a peg, you know? I personally like that Candace did that. Is it going to work? I fear not. I fear I've lost so much hope with all of these faithfuls. I'm still holding out hope for Mark and Kristen, And honestly, the one and only reason that I am is because they have both been very vocal about how their strategy is not being shown at all on the edit. And so my hope is that they are a couple people that have clocked Rob as being a potential traitor, but they want to wait until like Final Fire or something like that to take him out. I don't know. I don't know what their strategy is because we're not seeing it, but they're two people that I have seen be extremely, extremely vocal about how they're a little bit disappointed that their prowess in the castle is not really being shown. So those are the only two though. Everyone else, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? You don't have a brain. Oh, let's talk about this Sun article. I am so sick of people holding any weight with anything that the Sun says, and especially, please actually look up the articles and see who the author of the article is. If the name is Nicole Chenoweth, it's a lie. There are so many times, and I've posted about it several times on TikTok. I'll have to look and see if I ever shared that short over here on YouTube. I'm unsure. But so many times post Big Brother season, and even here at the beginning of Trader season, where if you read her articles, they are not factually correct. If you're not a Big Brother person, in BB27, we had a contestant named Vince. He came into the house with a 7-year long relationship on the outside. And throughout the season, he made it to final two. And the person that made it to the final three with him and her kind of had like, well, not even kind of, they had an emotional affair in the house. There was even a lot of conversations about like what their relationship would be on the outside of the house, all of these different things. It was a huge topic of conversation. It was what the entertainment was for the last quarter of the season. And when the season ended and he got out of the house, there was a lot of like people wanted to know what happened with his relationship and were interested, like, did she take him back? What's the deal? Blah blah blah. And there were paparazzi photos from the Sun of him and the girlfriend, and also a video that went along with the photos. And if you watch the video, it is just two people in a parking lot having a conversation. They share a hug. It's just a normal conversation. And this same person, Nicole Chenoweth, we have eyes, we can see the video, we can watch the video. And she puts out an article saying that they had a very tense meetup and that they were like shouting at each other and all of these different kinds of things where like if you actually take the time to watch the video, everything she says is not true. And because of that, that person has lost any and all credibility to me. The video that I made about her at the beginning of the Traitors season, her article was the one where she was talking about how production is mad about how the secret Traitors twist went, and mad about the like turret selection for the season. I'm like, well, production's the one that chose them, number one. And she had said something along the lines of the reason that the secret traitor twist was even invented was because of something to do with the gamers last season. And I was like, no, this isn't true because they did the same thing in the UK. Like, it's just a twist. They don't have gamers in the UK. It's civilians that are playing the game, and they do the same twist for both seasons. So, like, it's just dumb. None of it is true. Stop believing it. Stop giving them attention. Stop interacting with them. I literally it sends me into a rage every time that I see someone talk about one of our game shows and be like, oh my God, the Sun said this. Who cares? They don't know what they're talking about. They have no insider source. The insider source is the brain inside of their head. Okay, back to the Traitors. Or the episode 8 of Traitors. So I'm really curious to know what your guys' thoughts are on Eric being chosen as the person that Rob gives the ultimatum to. I just don't And again, it could be because of the edit, but I just don't see how Rob thinks that this is going to benefit him. There's no suspicion on Eric. So, like, you're going to have to work and kind of come up with a theory out of nowhere as to like if you want to use him as like a sacrificial lamb, you're going to have to come up with a theory out of nowhere that's going to probably look a little bit odd of like why you're targeting him all of a sudden. And so I don't think that that's the goal here, but I also don't see Eric being able to have the strategic prowess to be a good trader or like even a good trader to work with. Like I'm really questioning this decision. I don't think it's a good choice. I feel like Mark Ballas would have been a better choice. I feel like I liked the idea of the Johnny thing if you want to sacrifice someone. Like those seem like better options to me. And I know it was because he said that he has like a good working relationship with Eric, but he also has a good working relationship with Mark. So I don't know. I wish that there was a little, and maybe we'll get it in next week's episode, some more information as to like really how he came to that decision, why he chose Eric over the other two options that he listed. Because right now I'm really not seeing the vision and understanding this choice, honestly. Those are all of my thoughts and opinions on this latest episode of The Traitor. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments. How are you liking this season so far? And I will be back next week with some more.